Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back. If this is the first time you're watching my videos, my name is Natalie. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that if you enjoy what I share here on this channel, you can subscribe and share it with your friends. So in this video, we are going to talk about this upcoming week astrology. We're talking about September 4th to 10th, 2023. Oh my goodness, time flies. We are already in September. I keep writing August today when I'm like writing and preparing for our video. Time just flies. Oh my goodness. So as I'm recording this video, Venus is about to station direct. It feels like a lifetime that Venus is in retrograde. Venus is going to station direct tonight. Hong Kong time, it will be on the 4th, Monday morning 9:20 a.m. and later time zone, it will be Sunday night for you all. I did talk about Venus going direct in last week videos, so I don't want to repeat myself here. If you're interested, please do check out, but just quickly recap, right? We have Venus retrograde since the end of July 22nd or 3rd, depending where you are in the world. And Venus has been in Leo since beginning of June, so it's been a long time that Venus is in the sign of Leo, and this summer is just crazy. Personally tracking what's happening in the general public on a collective level and hearing from different astrologers, and my friends and clients sharing what they're going through. This Venus retrograde is in true Leo fashion. Loud. So many things. Like the most obvious are all those celebrities breakup, divorce, scandal, drama that come up, right? But of course, Venus retrograde doesn't just talk about all the doom and glooms. There are also a couple good things that I heard. Like I found out a couple that's getting married during this Venus retrograde period. Is that a good or bad thing? No, not necessary, because when I'm like listening to different astrologer podcasts, like they were tracing back how some of these Venus retrograde it's not like a curse or anything, that if you do anything you're like deemed to be like cursed or anything, like nothing good will come out of it. Because like from one of the podcasts, I've listened to too many, I can't remember, but something about Obama actually proposed to Michelle Obama during a Venus retrograde in Leo. And it's not like everything happened during this transit will be bad, but of course, because we're talking about Venus retrograde, there's a lot of reflecting on relationships, right? Romantically, but of course also one-on-one personal relationships, friendship, family dynamics. I heard a friend falling out with another friendship because they're no longer resonating, and that is one of the typical things that can happen during this transit too. And a client also shared with me that she's ending a 8 years contract, which she signed up in the previous Venus retrograde in Leo for a gym membership, which is also a relationship. And this has to do with money, right? Again, Venus thing, something that brings you joy. Her gym membership, right? They're no longer aligning. She doesn't feel the need to have this anymore, so she's like divorcing this gym. So that is some of the example that I've seen. There's so many more. So Venus stationing direct, meaning that maybe perhaps during the last 40 days, 40 nights during Venus retrograde, you are gaining a sense of information, clarity as to all your Venusian stuff, right? Relationships, money matter, personal finance, things that brings you joy, things that brings you passion, things you're passionate about and you love right? Love doing. So these are all this Venusian stuff, and you're gaining new inside information as to, do they still align? Is it time to make some change or adjustment? Now that Venus is stationing direct, you might have a clarity as to how you want to move forward as well. And at the same time, we also have, also I want to mention, we're still in the post-shadow energy. So even though Venus stationed direct today on September the 4th or 3rd for later time zone, Venus is now going to travel direct, slowly gaining speed, retracking all these degree points from 12 to 28, which she was retrograding in. So for some people, sometimes you feel this retrograde energy more intensely during the pre or post shadow retrograde period. So for many of us, our Venus retrograde story is not coming to an end yet. Maybe perhaps we are still going to gain more clarity, information, knowledge, aha moments as to how we feel about all this Venusian stuff as well. And I always talk about the retrograde whenever any planet goes retrograde. It's like a 3-part journey. Phase 1 is when the planet just comes in and comes into that sign, and then the actual retrograde period is our phase 2, and then we have the post shadow, which is our phase 3, because all the aspects that happen during phase 1, they repeat during the retrograde, and now that Venus is going to station direct, the following phase 3 will have the aspect repeating the third and final time. So the most the loudest one are Venus squaring Jupiter and Uranus, and they will happen later on in this month as Venus station direct and traveling through those degree points again, squaring Jupiter. Well, if you listen to my previous video, Venus is squaring Jupiter the whole month until the end of September, because of how tight they are to each other in that orb. So you're feeling this square all month long from end of August until end of September, and the degrees will come into exact in I think next week or so. On the 17th, around that time, and then it will slowly drift apart. They will start to separate, and by the end of September they will be far enough that this aspect will not be felt so much. And the second one is the square with Uranus, which will happen at the end of September as well, and we'll talk about them as the time comes closer. But this is the gist of Venus retrograde. And on the same day, Mercury retrograde in Virgo is having a trine with Jupiter in Taurus. So it will be the nighttime in Hong Kong. So you will feel this aspect on the 5th as well for all time zones. So probably more September 5th for everybody. So this is the second time we have this trine between Mercury in Virgo and Jupiter in Taurus, because Mercury right now is retrograding. Remember what I just mentioned is a 3-phase journey whenever we have a planet going retrograde. So the first time when Mercury have this trine with Taurus, it was August 9 and 10. So you can retrace back and see what was happening in your life, in different areas of your life around that time. This is the second one. And the third one will come again at the end of September on 25th to be exact, after Mercury station direct. So you're in the phase 2 of your Mercury retrograde story. Today, Mercury is having a trine with Jupiter, a great aspect, right? You might be receiving some news, information, new insight, idea as to what was happening for you during early in August 9 or 10th, when we have that aspect the first time. maybe you are re-evaluating something, rethinking, redoing, all the RE words during this Mercury retrograde, and today you gain more supportive or helpful information as to what you are redoing, right? You gain some more knowledge, information to help you to continue to do that. And don't worry if you feel like, oh, well, I don't really know what is happening. I feel like I'm still not gaining the clarity that I need. There's still more puzzle pieces to the story that I am thinking about, working on, or going through, because we have that aspect one more time at the end of the month. So just see what comes up. See what is it about. Maybe this is also regarding to your Virgo and Taurus houses. So check out what those houses are about. Maybe those are the new insight ideas coming from. And later on, when we have Mercury going direct, you might have more clarity as well. So as if the cosmos playing a little trick and joke on all of us. While one benefic planet, Venus, is stationing direct, the other benefic planet, Jupiter, is stationing retrograde. So on the 4th, nighttime, 10:10 p.m. Hong Kong time, or 10:10 a.m. Eastern time, so calculate the time depending where you are in the world. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, knowledge, spiritual growth and pursue, learning, is going retrograde. So during the next 4 months, until the end, literally the last day of this year, well, depending on where you are in the world, December 30th or 31st, Jupiter will retrograde from 15 degrees in Taurus, going back to 5 degrees in Taurus. So for the rest of the year, Jupiter is inviting us to slow down, to see how far we have come first, and the second is to reflect on the ways and areas of your life that you have been expanding, growing, and learning, or perhaps take a look and see which house is ruled by Taurus. This might be the area you have been expanding, growing, learning more about, and so on and so forth. So Jupiter is like, let's slow down, let's reflect on this area of your life, as to how you want to move forward, how you want to expand later on, and do we need to, want to, in what way, so on and so forth. Since Jupiter is in Taurus, and Taurus talks about really the sensual, physical being embodiment, and it really talks about our Mother Earth, right? It talks about our planet Earth, all the natural resources on this planet. And I can't help but feel so deeply with this transit already. Ever since Jupiter entered Taurus earlier back in May. As you all know or may not know, because I do talk about it in some of my videos, but I don't mention it all the time. But I do feel quite deeply. I wouldn't say that I am like an activist, but I feel like I guess I can call myself an advocate, or I don't know if influence is the right word, but in with regarding to our planet Earth in some way, shapes, or form, because for the last decade, but more so during the last few years especially, it really got me thinking more and more about our Mother Earth and our natural resources, the way we farm, the way we extract from planet Earth for what we want in this physical Earth. And I also think the Venus retrograde recently, because of how it aspecting all the planets in Jupiter, and how the two of them are showing up in my natal chart, and how it really resonate deeply with me. That's why I'm feeling all these emotions, and I'm really having a deep reflection on all these matters during this past couple of months. And I feel like it will continue. It will never stop, and especially for the rest of this year, because we now also have Jupiter retrograde. And I know I'm going off at a tangent right now, so bear with me, stay with me. And I also, just felt so deeply with the recent natural disaster that happened all around the world this summer, especially the wildfire in Maui and some of the typhoons and the weather changes that cause all those damages, right? And just so happened that yesterday I watched a Netflix show. It's called Getting Curious with Jonathan Van Ness, and the episode that I watched is talking about skyscrapers, right? And I didn't know that so much natural resources went into the building materials that we need for building buildings, right? I didn't know that you need to take so much sand. You need to extract so much sand to make one piece of glass that goes on our building. And look at the skyscrapers around the world these days. They're all filled with glasses. They're all surrounded by glasses. So how much sand are these companies extracting from different parts of the world, from Mother Earth, to make all these materials and build all these skyscrapers? Like, do we really need all these? And this all come back to what I want to talk about, Jupiter retrograde in Taurus. Do we always constantly need expansion, right? On a collective level, that's what I was talking about. But also on a personal level, right? Is expansion always a good thing? This is the major topic that I invite everyone to ponder on for the rest of the year during this Jupiter retrograde transit. Like, it really got me thinking deeply about this question. And it's also because probably my nature, like, I wonder after watching the episode, like, will we be extracting so much from the Mother Earth, dragging things from the bottom to build upon it? Will we be actually creating so much, expanding so much that one day below the ground will just get too hollow and not stable and not fertile enough, and it just gonna collapse, crumble down, and swallow all of us within? I know it's going a bit dark. Okay, this is my Sagittarius and Scorpio combination that is going into this dark space, and my aqua moon, so I totally get it. And I know some of you are like, what is this chick talking about? So bear with me. I'm just saying it all comes back to really asking. Sometimes all these expansion are happening not in our personal life, right? So we don't feel that we're connected to it. We don't feel connected to how everything in supermarket came from, right? How do we get all these food in the supermarket? They have to come from somewhere, but we don't know. We can't connect with the farming outside, the farms outside, the agriculture, the natural resources outside, because sometimes we can't see, right? We don't know, and that's okay, right? It's okay that if we don't know, but maybe perhaps this is time for us to really start to educate ourselves, right? To find out more, to be more connected, because whether you want it or not, you want to acknowledge it or not, we are all interconnected. We are all connected, good or bad, right? We are all connected. We cannot ignore some of the shit that is happening around the world. We need to get out of our bubble and start thinking bigger and ponder on these kind of stuff. I think it's safe to say that all of us, right, most of us are taught, educated, and fed with the grind culture, right? That all we have to do is work harder, do more, work more, in order to expand, in order to create the good life. What is the good life? I want to ask all of you all, and feel free, please, if you want to connect, answer me and let me know, what do you think the good life means? And I'm sure everybody's definition might be different, right? We're so used to this grind culture, the way we brought up, the system teach us, the education teach us that we need to be on the go all the time. We need to expand, do more, work more, get more, you know, in order to have the good life. Is it really the case? Is expansion always a good thing, or can expansion be bad? Maybe expansion is bad. Sometimes maybe it is not a good thing to expand, to want more, because we might end up hoarding. We might end up getting more than we need. We might unconsciously filling our life with more than what we need. And there are still parts of the world that is still going, that's constantly in crisis, that's always hungry, that is lagging all these resources, but yet there's so much food waste and resources waste in some of our world. And I get so emotional talking about it. So what is the definition of enough then, right? Okay, so sorry, got a little bit emotional, but you know, I think this is something that it's time. I really think it's time for each of us to start really thinking about and educate ourselves and spread the awareness. And we don't need a few people to be perfect and doing a lot and, you know, saving the world. We need more people to do better, even if it's just a little bit better, right? So I really hope that you're still here listening to me babbling, but this is one of the main themes that I would love to invite everyone to ponder on, to reflect on, to think about during this Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, because Jupiter will be in Taurus until May next year. So this is the year I feel like this question, this problem is being magnified, right? Our Mother Earth is screaming help. Can we start to do something, anything, a little bit, to start to give back, to help, to replenish our Mother Earth? The retrograde thing, right? All the RE words: replenish, renourish, regenerate our Mother Earth, right? And on a personal level, look at your personal life, the areas that you have been expanding, wanting more, wanting to get more of. Now is the time to slow down and see how far you have come, and how would you like to expand later on. Is all this expansion necessary? Are they helping you, or are they in detriment, right? Sometimes we're so busy creating more, expanding, we don't even know if it's good or bad for us. So slow down in the remaining month of this year to ponder on how far you have come. Give yourself a pat on the shoulder. You have been doing so much, working hard so much. Rest, reevaluate how far you have come. Look at your Taurus house. What is it about, right? And do some readjustment. Have you been expanding enough or not enough? And if so, how would you like to move forward? So thank you for sticking by with me to listen to my babbling. So this is what Jupiter is about, and it will be till the end of year. And then the next day, September 6th, we have a beautiful Mercury Cazimi. So if this is not the first time you're watching my video, you probably know what I'm talking about already. So the Sun and Mercury in Virgo are coming together, having a conjunction today at 13 degrees in Virgo. So Mercury rules Virgo. So even though Mercury is in retrograde, it's still a very strong Mercury. So perhaps this is the day the Sun and Mercury are shining a light on your Virgo house, on your Mercury retrograde story, giving you some clarity, aha moment, revelation, divine downloads, right? So, and remember, when I talk about all of this, it doesn't mean that it will be served up on a silver platter for you, like, here you go, dun dun, you know. Sometimes it's all about the little things, the little signs and synchronicity that the universe is trying to give you in your surrounding to communicate with you. And we're talking about Virgo. It's all about the little details, the little things. So pay attention to all the little signs and synchronicity around you. It might through a music lyrics that you're hearing when you're driving, when you're listening music. It might be from a conversation you're having with a friend. This might be a conversation that people are having and you hear it and it gave you an aha moment, right? So this can be all this little thing. It might be a number that is on the clock, right? It might be a little animal that has meaning to you, that's giving you a sign and synchronicity. So pay attention and see what comes up for you. And during Mercury retrograde, I always suggest, if it's possible, right, not to launch, start, initiate anything during Mercury retrograde. Don't sign important documents or contract. Don't make big purchase. If you can, delay your important meetings or so on and so forth, conversation, all this mercurial stuff, right? But I know also that we can't live our life based on planetary transit and energies. But if you are aware and you would like to know, well, then I really need to announce something. I really need to like pitch my idea, have this meeting or conversation, sign this document or contract. Which is a good day? Well, today is a good day. September 6th will be definitely a good day during this Mercury retrograde still, to do all these stuff. So if you're wanting to know which day, this day will be a good day, or I will give it a little bit, or a little bit between before and after will be kind of okay, because also later on we have another aspect that goes hand in hand with that. So I would say 6, 7, and 8, because on the 8th we have the Sun in Virgo having a trine with Jupiter retrograde in Taurus. So this is another supportive aspect. And so we're having all these planets that kind of like crossing path with each other. In the beginning of the week, we have Mercury retrograde in Virgo having a trine with Jupiter in Taurus. And now today on the 8th, the Sun comes back after the beautiful Mercury Cazimi to come and trine Jupiter in Taurus. So today maybe more insights, more aha moment, more revelation will come from the Sun shining a light on what's been happening earlier of the week, or like I said, during your the first time when we have this Mercury Jupiter aspect, which is a little bit earlier this month, right, in August 9 or 10. So today the Sun is coming back, tracing those points and perhaps shining a light on more information, more insights, or so on and so forth. So it feels like that whatever you have been thinking or rethinking, talking about, going through, more clarity might come in. And also interesting is our last Mercury retrograde was in Taurus, right? It was in April 20th, 21st, depending on where you are in the world, until mid-May, May 15. So that was the time when we have Mercury retrograde in Taurus. So now all the planets continue to travel and come to Virgo, having a trine, right? The Sun and Mercury in Virgo are having trine with Jupiter in Taurus. So it feels like that if, for some of us, right, something maybe happened around late April to mid-May. you are gaining some new insights, revelations, more information, right? Maybe back then at the end of April to mid-May, you were thinking about something. You were initiating some sort of creative project idea, or maybe perhaps you're brainstorming of something, right? And then during this time, when Mercury is in Virgo, we have Mercury, we have the Sun having trine with your Taurus house. Maybe this is the time that all these ideas or intuitive hits are coming alive for you. This might be the time you're like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to get it going. I'm ready to launch it, start it, initiate it, right? So this is how I can see this aspect connecting as well, because that is astrology. Sometimes they trace back, they come back, they create aspect, and they will, just like our life, this is the mundane, right? This is how sometimes how our life is too, right? We're thinking about something, maybe we're not ready to do it yet, but as time goes, maybe more research, thinking, now you're ready to take action. So perhaps for some of us, this can be what is happening for you as well. And just in general today, with the sun trining, the sun in Virgo trining Jupiter in Taurus, just a nice aspect to do all these earthy things. This is just also a nice aspect between two earth signs, sun in Virgo and Jupiter in Taurus. So this can also be a great day for you to connect with the nature, to go on a hike, to connect with your friends, right? Because Mercury is in retrograde, maybe you're meeting your friends, spending some time out today. You know, if you are out and about in the nature, this is definitely a beautiful day to enjoy the nature, and so on and so forth. So this week we have quite a lot going on too. So now let's take a look at the universe message for all of us. So from the tarot deck, we have Jupiter. Oh my god. Yes, Wheel of Fortune, which is the card that symbolizes Jupiter. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. And then we have Queen of Wands and we have Two of Wands. I love it because what did we just talk about? Jupiter station retrograde this week. Oh my goodness. And we have all this Wands energy, which is also fire energy, which is about Leo. And Venus is stationing direct in Leo, right? This is like what we were just talking about. And this really, I can't help but really say that this really resonates with what I was just talking about. Well, Jupiter retrograde is really and Venus stationing direct. These two transits, these two stations of the benefic planet are really asking us what ignites your inner fire. What are you passionate about, right? I feel like you guys already know what I'm passionate about if you're still here, right? What are you passionate about, right? What has this Venus retrograde transit teach you or show you or allow you to ponder on, reflect on, right? This might be how you want to move forward with how you spend your energy, how you spend time with people, how to manage your relationships, how to connect with things that brings you joy, right? Because Queen of Wands is this energy about igniting your inner fire, right? What truly aligns with your heart, whether this is relationship, your hobbies, your creative project, your work, your business, whatever it is, right? This is about listening to your heart. How would you like to move forward, right? How would you like to move forward? And we also have Jupiter retrograde. How would you like to move forward, continue your life, or in different areas of your life that is more conscious, that is more true to you, that is more aligning to your heart, but also that will pour back into for the greater good, right? So this is really something that is quite close to my heart. So I'm a little bit speechless right now, like to see this coming up. and our Moonology card, oh my goodness, I was like, what? When the card came out, we have the full moon in Pisces. Forgive, we just had our full moon in Pisces, which was also a blue super moon just last week, and we are going to have our new moon in Virgo next week. Both of these lunation is coming out. I'm like, oh my god. New moon in Virgo, trust all will be well. I love this message for us. And I love how these two lunation came out, right? We just had this one last week, and we will have the new moon in Virgo next week. So it feels like that from last week until next week, there's a need to really go deep, go internal, right? To really go back into our heart space, to sink deep, to forgive the parts of ourselves that we are being too hard on, that we are ignoring, that we are not resting, that we feel like we're not doing enough, right? But also trust that all will be well, that we are doing enough even though we don't feel like it, right? We have so many planets going retrograde. It's really a time to slow down, not just keep grinding and doing, but reflecting on how have you been doing, right? We can improve if we don't stop and reflect and look back, right? We will just keep going and going, and we're not meant to do that. So flow with the cosmic energy. And our oracle card, the Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. I love this. This card signified this week's energy and all this retrograde energy, right? We have this beautiful Mercury Cazimi that is coming up to light, that is bringing unconscious to the light. We might receive some revelation, realization, aha moment this week, and having all these station energy. If you listen to my previous videos about this Virgo season is filled with all this stations energy, right? We kick off Virgo season the first day with Mercury stationing retrograde. We have this week Venus stationing direct and Jupiter stationing retrograde. And then next week, when we have our new moon in Virgo, Mercury will station direct. And not to mention, last week we also have Uranus that station retrograde. All this stationing, all these directional changes can create a lot of breakthrough, can create a lot of turnaround, can create a lot of changes and shifts in different areas of our life. So this is really asking us to flow with the cosmic energy, to let loose a little bit, let go of control a little bit, so that all this divine downloads, all this revelation, aha moment, little signs and synchronicity that will be able to help us pivot and align us to our highest good to come up, right? So I love this message for us. I know I have babbled a lot in this video, so if you're still here, thank you for sticking by. And I know some of the stuff sometimes I say might ruffle some feathers, but I can only be honest, right? I can only be honest and share with you what I think. This is why I create this channel, to share all this astrological transit, whether they're good, bad, light, dark, icky or beautiful, helpful or tense or conflict, to share all this honesty with you, and also want you to know more about me and how I feel about all these stuff, so we can create connections too and build this community. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment below, connect with me. I'm wishing you all a great week ahead, and I'll see you next time. Bye.